If the rear brakes on your 2019 and newer Ram are on their way out, well, it's time to start looking at a replacement option or maybe even an upgrade, such as the PowerStop Z36 truck and tow pad and rotor setup that we're featuring here today. Now, this kit will include a brand new set of the slotted and drilled rotors, along with a new set of heavy-duty carbon ceramic pads, improving your stopping power and your behind-the-wheel appearance, all for right around high $300. So let's start breaking down some of this kit here from PowerStop a little bit more and talk about what you can expect out of this very budget-friendly kit. Now, the foundation is no doubt going to be the company's cross-drilled and slotted G3000 cast iron rotors, which have been given a silver zinc coating to resist any rust or corrosion long-term, mainly on your non-friction surfaces. Now, that slotted and drilled design is designed to help keep cooling in mind here, guys, help reduce brake fade, especially when these guys are working extra hard to haul down a heavy load or maybe a heavy tow. Now, as an added bonus, as I mentioned earlier, they're certainly going to increase the appearance behind your favorite set of stock or aftermarket wheels. Now, the second part of the equation here with this kit is the Z36 heavy-duty carbon ceramic pad. Now, this pad is unique in the PowerStop lineup. It is built specifically for heavy-duty truck and SUV use. And when you combine this pad compound with these rotors, PowerStop's claiming a roughly 20% increase in stopping power altogether, and that is pretty substantial. Now, along with more initial bite you're getting here out of this aggressive pad compound, you're also going to get a little bit more resistance to heat. And again, when we're talking about braking performance, heat is no doubt the enemy. That leads to brake fade, and brake fade leads to a lot of white knuckle, oh, you know what moments. So again, if you can really get the performance back into your braking system, if you tow heavy or haul heavy a lot, then this is going to give you the confidence coming down to a quick stop or coming downhill to basically make sure you're going to stop in time. Now, diving a bit deeper into the Z36 pad, again, this compound does consist mainly of that ceramic material, but it does have carbon fiber baked in to not only strengthen the compound, but also add a little bit more of that initial bite we talked about and a little bit more of that resistance to heat. Now, the pads have been thermally scorched. That's going to lead to a fast break-in here. And PowerStop claims that the pads themselves are both low dust and low noise. And to be fair, I do have this kit on my personal truck, and while the dust might be a little bit more than I'm used to seeing with a more basic factory style pad, there is zero noise whatsoever. So can I definitely attest to that from a personal perspective. Now, in addition to that, guys, the PowerStop setup that you're looking at here today is backed by their 3-year or 36,000 mile warranty, just in case you should run into any issues. Price point for the PowerStop setup here is going to live around the high $300 mark, which does make these a little bit more money than your basic parts store replacements, those basic blanks and cheap factory style pads. But at the same time, it's going to be a bit more affordable than other performance-based upgrades when you compare this kit to a kit maybe from like EBC, for instance. So I would say kind of a middle of the road option for Ram owners out there looking to address the rear. As always, guys, if you wanted to do all 4 corners at the same time, PowerStop does sell a kit that does have everything you need, or at the same time, you can always just grab the front separately. That is entirely up to you. All right, last but not least, let's talk install here. And the pads and rotors, pretty basic stuff in the automotive world. So therefore, just expect a pretty easy day in the garage or driveway. Now, the site did kick things up to a soft 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter here, just because there is some elbow grease involved, of course. But I would say give yourself maybe a couple of hours to complete from start to finish, and you should be good to go. But now to give you a better idea of how this one might go down in the garage or driveway at home, let's check out our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
For this install, you need a flathead screwdriver, a ratchet, a 21, 12, and T30 socket, caliper hanger tool, caliper depressor tool, supplied brake grease, and brake clean. Okay, so today we're gonna be installing some brakes on our Ram, so let's get started. All right, we're gonna start with removing the rear brakes. Before you do that, you just wanna make sure that the rear brakes are in service mode because of the electronic parking brake, just so you don't damage anything. All right, so we're gonna start, we're gonna take our caliper bolts off. It's 12mm socket, so let's do that now. All right, we're gonna take our 2 bolts out here and here. All right, then we can pull our caliper off. All right, we're gonna grab a caliper hanger tool and just hang it up on the spring over here. All right, we're going to remove our pads now. If you want, you just get a flathead screwdriver. Just pop out the retaining springs on top and bottom. And if you need to, you can use a screwdriver to also wiggle the pads out. All right, next we're going to take our caliper bracket off. That's going to be two 21mm bolts on the back side here. All right, now to get the rotor off, we just have our one screw holding on the front. It's a T30, so we're just going to grab a ratchet and a socket, take that off. All right, you just repeat the same thing for the other side. Now that we have our factory stuff off, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get ready to install our new rotor. You just wanna make sure that you have the right one. You will see it is labeled rear driver's side. First thing we're gonna do is take some brake clean, just clean off the surfaces of our rotor, of any oil or debris that might be on there. Take a brake clean, spray the surface down. Take a rag and clean it off. Same thing on the back side. And we can install the rotor onto the truck. You can grab your T30 socket and your bolt, thread that back in. Grab your ratchet and tighten that down. Now we're gonna get our caliper bracket ready. We have new boots for our sliders, so we're gonna start with that. Just gonna pull your slider out, pull your factory boot off. Now this is already pretty greased up. If you need to, you can just throw some of your supplied grease on there. And then slide your new boot over and back in. Same thing on the other side. Now we can take our clips off. Just lift them up. Make sure you grab the right one, orient it correctly, and push it down. So we'll make sure that the higher part here is on the outside. All right, now we can install our bracket onto our truck. Put our bracket back over our new rotor. Grab our 21mm bolts and thread them in. Grab our ratchet and socket and tighten them down. Take our caliper off of our caliper hanger. Set that aside. We're going to take our rear caliper tool and compress our rear piston. We can just rest our caliper on the side for right now. We're going to get our new pads on and grab our supplied grease. Just grease up where our pads will go over our brackets here. Slide them over. Same thing for the other side. Now that they're in place, we're going to install our new springs. You'll see the holes in the pads. Gonna go like so. And we can put our caliper back over. And reinstall our two 12mm bolts. Grab our ratchet and socket, tighten them down. Once you have that all done, you can go ahead and repeat the same thing on the other side. And once you're done with all the rear brakes, you just want to make sure you take it out of service mode. And that wraps up our install of our PowerStop Z36 Extreme Truck and Tow 6-lug brake rotor and pad kit for the rear of our 2019 and newer Ram 1500, excluding the TRX. And remember, for everything Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.